said visceral reaction, so I'm going to repeat that again.
Bingo.
What did I say? It makes visceral reaction. Has that gone down? Are we recording now? Visceral reaction. Has that come across? Visceral reaction? Oh. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that does it. That does it. That does it.
This is the new segment we put on a song.
We're just going to go to the park, bump this, and we're going to start dancing to it.
Man, actually, wait. You got to
That
see
would
this
be-
film clip.
Oh, let's see the
There was a
film
bit of
clip.
a troublemaker in the film clip.
Okay.
So
what's
he's at a
going on?
cafe. There's a waitress.
Oh, it's an
Rude guy.
Italian guy. Ollie's got his hat on. He's oh, whoa, sexual assault from the Italian guy. What do you mean?
Is Ollie going to do anything about it?
mean, bro? You're gonna... she's
Ollie just sat there and watched it.
Ollie's gotten cucked by this
Ollie
Italian
can't believe
Lebanese
it.
guy. Oh, it's a white guy coming. What's he doing?
That kind of makes Ollie more
Fat guy.
relatable.
He'll stand by while a woman gets sexually assaulted.
I'm probably kind of an Ollie.
I think we are both a bit of an Ollie Murr. How about Ollie?
No.
You don't hear a murmur from him when a woman's sexually assaulted. How about that?
How good would it be to just have the confidence to sexually assault people? I just really don't have the confidence.
It's just you think it's just a confident thing.
What's going on
Confidence
here?
thing. Right now, what's
It's just
going-
another instance. No, he's sexually harassing someone.
He's like, I thought that's what girls wanted. That's what this Italian guy doing.
He's following this woman through a record store. For everyone at home,
Are we going to get flagged
this
for having a
video
song
up.
playing for this long?
I don't even.
I think
I
we
don't
may.
even really care.
You're just not going to be getting any.
I don't even care.
The
I don't even care, man.
episode's just going to be taken off. Let's just have it taken off. This is just for us, everyone. We're just going to have this song playing. We don't even care.
You know what I just realized? It's
Yeah.
the same woman he's following through all these scenarios.
What does the troublemaker come from? Oh, and then what is Flowrider going to do when he sees her? Okay, Flowrider is now just sexually assaulting her in a bedroom. What's? Oh no, he's
This
not
is-
even. It's not even part of it. He's just like doing a separate thing to the entire video.
I'm probably a flow rider.
Or is She's going home with Flowrider, and the song's about Flowrider being a troublemaker,
Anyway, that's enough of that.
or the girl being a troublemaker for sleeping with a black man.
What's up, everybody? This is
What's
the
good,
Sausage Boys
folks?
podcast.
What's good?
Ollie Mers here.
My name is Ollie Mers here. And
The Ollie
speaking
Mers of Sydney.
we actually
There we
have.
go. That's my new
I like
nickname.
That a new thing, Ollie Mers of Sydney.
The Ollie Mers of Sydney.
No, we're joking. We actually do have guest Ollie Mers singer on the podcast. Folks. Ollie, how you going? Oh yes, I'm good. You guys are pretty silly.
Is there any women around here?
I want to do nothing while they get sexually assaulted. Okay, Ollie. Interesting. So yeah, how'd you get into music? What's your story?
When did that video come out? Oh,
It-
2012.
It came out in 2012.
It
I
was
think
alright to
it was all
sexually harass
accepted
women
back
by
then.
slapping them on the bottom in a cafe.
It wouldn't have even been a thing to see that happening.
He just sat there and watched it, and then would have seen the treatment for this video and was like, "Yeah, cool, I like that."
He's just watching it back. He's like, "Yeah, no, it all looks cool. I like it. Yeah, we'll go ahead with the music video. Post that one." But what's the idea? Troublemaker? Is it in reference to her?
Originally, they
Or
were like,
him.
"All right, Ollie." So she gets slapped on the butt, and you stand up and kind of protect her a little bit, and he's
Yeah.
like, "I've got a better idea." I just kind of watch that happen and don't do anything about it.
That's a real troublemaker move, Ollie. And he's like, that's what we're going to call the song.
That's a
Well, I
good
guess
question.
if that's a troublemaker move, then I'm a troublemaker. I'm a troublemaker.
Maybe she's the troublemaker for wearing what she wore.
Yeah, I was
to
going
work.
to say that. She's a troublemaker. She's asking men to have to sexually assault her.
Yeah.
Dang, what's Ollie Mers' story? What's he doing right now? That's been... So that's like hundreds of millions of views. Oh, he is British. Okay. Ollie Mers...
What about this comment? It says, "Don't lie. 2021 and still listening because it hits different."
I like that. That's exactly how I feel, though, which is what he's got in other songs, Troublemaker, Dance With Me Tonight, which I'm assuming he's forcing a woman to dance with him. Is that sexual assault to force a woman to dance with you? Like, you're grabbing her and you're just dancing together. And she's like, no, no.
In this film clip, he's getting a mugshot taken, so maybe it's a concept kind of piece.
So he went to jail for not doing anything. He's got a song called That Girl. Probably him pointing at a girl, being like, I want to have her tonight. What else has he got? You Don't Know Love. That's what he says to her afterwards. He's like, no, it's love. You don't know what love is. This is what love includes. Sometimes a lot of it is against your will. Wrapped Up is what he did to the woman. When he took her home, he wrapped her up in some sort of, what are those little plastic things, the clips that you can tie in women's hands, or people's hands?
Oh, yeah.
Please Don't Let Me Go is another Ollie Murs song.
He's got one called Dear Darling.
Dear Darling. Unpredictable as well. He's very unpredictable in the way he'll act around women in a scenario if she's being assaulted.
He's got one called Pringles, which is a nickname that he called the woman that worked at a local bar. He named her Pringles Can. He said, I'm hungry, I need them.
I don't really know where that's going. One's not enough or something like that.
Something about needing to...
hand on heart. Something about him having like a knife in his hand placed over her heart, being like, if you move, I'm going to stab you. Kiss Me. Army of Two.
They're getting really overt. Look at this one. I sexually assault women. He's really kind of losing the subtlety in these songs.
No Means Yes. Interesting name choice. Hey, this is me, Ollie Murs. This isn't art. This is actually what I do.
But What Was She Wearing? Featuring R. Kelly.
Boys will be boys. I'm a man. What do you expect? We're a wolf. We were
Sausage
wolves.
Boys isn't actually ironic. It's how they really feel by Ollie Murs.
It's an interesting, Ollie. You've got all these songs that are very... I think we've kind of lost the bit of if he's going to be the assaulter or is he going to be the man standing by. I think we've kind of lost that. We don't really know what Ollie is anymore. Or is that assault in itself, standing by? That's probably the question.
Yeah.
Especially where Ollie was. He was in a crowded cafe. If he stood up for her, he could have had like 20 people on his side. But even then, he chose not to.
I don't even know who the fuck this guy is.
Okay, well, we'll spend the next few minutes looking him up.
Ollie
Murs. Let's have a look. I want to look up his Wikipedia. Ollie Murs Wikipedia. Let's see. So he is British. He's from Witham, United Kingdom. He has a Ben Murs. Let's just assume that might be his brother. Here we go. We've got the biography. No, we don't want that. We want his early life. Okay. Murs was born in Witham, Essex.
His brother, child groom.
In
child groom Murs.
2012, he was...
I was thinking about that for so long. I was like, how can I make that work?
And his sister, what was...
Speaking of
Shivering,
speaking of child groomers,
what was Shivering?
What about Drizzy Drake after the
what about child groomers and they take a child and they just groom them like to look really good, kind of like give them a haircut?
Yeah, I had a joke about that.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Something about like working at a dog groomer's.
Okay.
Something I don't know.
What if there just was like a kids' barbershop called Child Groomers? And it's like full of Italian men and just like 5 white guys from Witham, England, who just sit by idly as they get groomed.
The mum's in there like dropping the kid off, and the old guy's like, "No, the name. It's a misleading." And then she leaves, and he leans over to the kid, and he's like, "It's a nut."
And the kid's like, "Mister, you gonna do anything? Mister Ollie, are you Ollie Murs, the singer?" Are you gonna do something? I'm
Yeah,
afraid not.
Drizzy Drake apparently. Have you heard after the Astroworld tragedy?
He did a song with Ollie Murs.
He's like, I need a way for people to forget about what just happened quick. No, but
Canadian
we-
rapper Drake's in hot water after doing a song with Ollie Murs.
We were even talking
Sex
about-
offender.
We were even talking about. We were talking about Drake kind of getting off the hook at the Astroworld.
Oh, completely.
But yeah, apparently there's articles coming out now. Drake apparently spent $1 million at a strip club the night
Ooh.
after the Astroworld
Dang.
tragedy. Which
He was also silent when it came to the Israel-Palestine conflict. I wish they just keep on bringing up stuff like that, and just because I like the idea of cancelling. Like I was even going to talk about just people showing up at Travis Scott's house. I think there was a concert that was on, and people started booing when a Travis Scott song came on. And it gets awkward,
so
where it's
strange, isn't
like,
it?
what did he actually do? I have a feeling he didn't know, and this is going to kind of be up for debate, but he was sad. And, like, I don't think he's happy that it happened.
I mean, he rubbed his head,
Yeah.
so you know that he was sad.
Yeah, so you know he actually
rubbed his
meant it.
He rubbed his face for 2 minutes
Yeah.
and didn't say sorry.
The only issue was he had an Ollie Murs song playing in the background, which was, people would actually say that was a bigger issue than the deaths of the 9 people.
You know why Drake probably spent $1 million at that strip club? It's because Ollie Murs was probably playing over the strip club. He couldn't help himself.
I like that ones that don't really make sense, but
I don't even really know our angle kind of with the...
so the song was playing, therefore he had to.
He just couldn't help himself. He just got G'd up. But you know what? Actually, let me say this.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I've got plans tomorrow. I'm going to go to the strip club and blow a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And then he's doing this thing and a bunch of people die. And he's what? Just going to call that off because 8 people died.
What about Ollie Murs at the concert, standing, doing nothing? Something about that.
I actually heard that Ollie Murs popped out and that's what caused the stampede.
What if Travis Scott's trying to go help people? Ollie just grabs his head and is like, don't do anything. We're going to stand here because that's what we do. We don't intervene.
Travis Scott's
It's
like,
rude.
Ollie, you're a... He's like, I'm a troublemaker. Isn't I? He's like, don't say it. That song was originally going to be called Trample Maker. And it was about Travis Scott.
What if they just did a new music video to the Ollie Murs Troublemaker song, and it's just him being a troublemaker in different scenarios? Like, who was that girl? Again, on topic, who was that girl that was, like, kidnapped in Northern Territory or something?
Yeah.
It turns out it was just Ollie Murs who kidnapped her and blamed it on an Indigenous guy. And he's like, it's part of the music video. It was him being a troublemaker. And he has, like, a smirk on his face as that guy gets arrested. And he's like,
Troublemaker.
yeah, I do like that.
Alright, I'm getting the lyrics up.
Something about him being in the Astro world. He's like, hey, how about we all move forward? How about we all get in?
Troublemaker
He was behind all of that.
on Genius.
Ollie Murs kind of saying to the Israelis in Gaza, like, hey, you were promised this land by God. You know that, right? Getting them out of here.
Yeah. I don't know. But this Drizzy Drake thing, I don't
Him
think it
spending-
matters. I don't think it matters at all.
Did he know, though?
He would have known.
He would have known. And
He
then he goes to a
couldn't-
strip club.
He couldn't not have. The next night, the following day.
The following,
And
he's
this is
probably
making
he's like, I got to get
headlines.
my mind off this.
Yeah, a bunch of people just died.
Yeah. That's pretty intense, spending that much money at a strip club. I don't really get that angle. I assume he's making that money back from promotion, or they're probably paying him back or something. It's kind of like a gambling thing. I'm sure he's getting that money back in some way. It's just interesting to how that physically
I
goes
see what you're
down.
saying, yeah. Or they pay, like the strip club gives him money to throw or something.
Yeah,
don't
something
know.
like that. Because it's like, I guess it's the pay pig sort of thing.
Here's another question. How would they know how much money he threw? And who's
That's true.
reporting this?
That's true.
It's just someone that was there was like, yo, man, he threw like $1 million.
Ollie Murs is like,
Like, yeah,
Drake's, yeah, he's just throwing like tens of thousands, and Ollie Murs is just going to the reporter saying, I think he's just thrown $1 million.
He's throwing like
He's thrown-
$1,001 bills. That's got to be what, like $1 million?
Well, we had it here, folks. British singer Ollie Murs has confirmed it. The Drake has just thrown $1 million at this strip club. It's an
Yeah.
interesting one. Have
And-
you been to a strip club or thrown money?
I've been once,
Yeah.
and I was only there for the music. They were playing Ollie Murs.
What would
Yeah,
it be?
I did go, and I sat there and I said, I respect you, women. I respect you, and I respect what you're doing. So
I just like the
that's
idea
kind of the only reason I'd go there,
to go and respect women.
to pay my respects.
I like the idea of this kind of movement of requesting Ollie Murs songs anywhere. Like you go to a gig or something like that, and you just have like a huge chant of just like play Ollie Murs, play Ollie Murs, play. Like you go to like just straight up. Who is it? It's the what's it called? The Strokes. You go to like the Strokes, and you just get like tens of thousands of people all holding up their phone like with the Ollie Murs song and just screaming it.
He's just Julian Casablancas on the front. Just
Like, and they try to do a cover, and everyone's like, "Boo! Play the actual version." Just have to like, they literally have to plug in an iPhone and like go to Spotify and play the song.
Ollie Murs.
Dun dun dun. She gives me da da da, and everyone's just like singing, going wild.
Why does she
That's so good and that's so bad. Whoa! Just the entire like stadium just screaming, like erupting. I think, yeah, that would be a good bit. Anyone listening, that's very funny. And just like a movement, every single concert. And then even like the metalheads and stuff like that are like, oh, we know this is going on. We'll just play some Ollie Murs like at the start to appease them. And then we'll get into our songs.
Yeah.
It's the perfect song. The Flow Rider verse comes in. Everyone's like doing hand things, kind of pretending to be gangster.
What's Flow Rider says, maybe I'm insane because I
Maybe
keep
you're
doing the same
insane.
damn thing.
Same damn thing.
Thinking one day we gon'
One
change,
day we gonna
but you
change.
know just how to work
But you
that
know
back
how to just work that back.
and make me forget my name.
Make
What
me
the hell
forget
you
my
do,
name.
I won't remember.
What the
I'll be
hell
gone
you
until
do?
November.
We're gone until
Isn't it funny,
November.
like, you think about the Florida rappers and like the SoundCloud movement,
Yeah.
and how different it's from Flow Rider. You know what I mean?
That's true.
That's what rap was, and then it just became like the epicenter of.
That's true. Yeah, Florida. I guess it was Flow Rider initially. Well, you had they were a big group. You had they had a real specific sound with DJ Uncle Luke.
Yeah.
Uncle Luke. You had Rick Ross. I think there was a real Florida sound. I can't remember what it.
That's true.
There was a sound that came out of there, but I think definitely that scene of. Oh, what is it? Pitbull's from Florida, is he? Did he live in? I know he's from Puerto Rico or something, but was he kind of Florida based? Because I know he's so similar to Flow Rider.
Yeah.
Maybe there's that kind of commercial sound coming out of the area, as well as kind of these niche sort of underground movements.
So it says, so getting Flow Rider on this record was kind of easy in a
Yeah.
way. This is an Ollie Murs
Because I
quote.
forced him by gunpoint.
It wasn't hard. I was expecting
Apart
it
from
to
my
be a
penis.
lot harder than it was.
His
We just
penis,
literally sent him the track, his people, the track, and they heard it and
his
they really
people.
liked it.
And by his people, you know what I'm talking about.
So Ollie had that song in the studio, and he was like, I just kind of have a vision for this song,
Yeah.
and it's Flow Rider. I need Flow Rider on this track.
I need him. I do like the idea of like if Flow Rider never accepted, like he would just end up killing people. Just like that alternate universe. Like, you kind of find the time machine or something. You go back to a world where Flo Rida never accepted to go on Troublemaker. And, like, Ollie Murs is just, like, completed a genocide.
What?
Like,
He loves wearing, like, button-up shirts without collars on them, too.
Oh, who's that Flo Rida?
You just go to a party and you're wearing that. Someone's like, I really like the way you dress.
Yeah.
With that, like, blazer and suspenders and button-up shirt with no collar.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, what can I say? I'm just, like, really into Ollie Murs at the moment.
Do you think that's been said? I like that idea of just someone going around being like, yeah, no, I've really been digging British singer Ollie Murs.
Man, have you heard Ollie Murs' new track?
Yeah, you're right. That is what he likes to dress up as.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
got
anyway,
like
anyway.
We're not getting off this as well, folks. So it's a shame that we brought it up because this is going to be the rest of the hour.
What about we just become kind of Ollie Murs impersonators?
We just have fedoras. That's sort of. What if you just went as Ollie Murs for Halloween and everyone just knew exactly who you were? You don't even do anything. You just kind of wear like a white t-shirt and that kind of jacket, not buttoned up, and like maybe a fedora.
I hate this guy so much. Every time I see anything more on this guy, I just...
He's horrible. He's absolutely horrible.
He seems evil. He literally seems like a bad guy.
Like, I know, and that's the crazy thing. He seems like the worst person on earth. This is actually alright. Oh, this is an old Ollie Murs. He's got the fedora, the bright coloured t-shirt.
He's wearing pink skinny jeans.
Yeah, what's the deal with it? What's wrong with him? There's something evil. There's something really, really horrible about this man.
Ollie Murs.
What is this? Ollie Murs, the
Fan-
voice star, angry and
fan-
really upset after Instagram discovery. It's not me. Of scammers.
Have we got a fan site? Yeah, we've got a fan site for Ollie Murs.
Oh,
I want to get inside the Ollie Murs fans' heads. I want to see what's going on.
Yeah, of course. What could they call themselves? Like mermaids or something like that? We're the mermaids. We all wear fedoras and kind of brightly coloured t-shirts.
Hmm.
So he's got a fan page. He's like blowing kisses at people. He's very bright, very colourful.
You know what? This isn't what this podcast is about. We're
It's
not about
exactly what
hating.
this- I know we're not hating.
But I am. The more
Yeah, that's
I have to
true.
stop looking at this
I wanna
guy.
see where he's touring.
Whoa. He looks different.
He's gotten older.
He's gotten older.
He's looking a bit better as he's gotten older, I'd say. Where's he going to be performing next? Where's the first date?
Yeah, should we do some
10th
plugs?
of June 2022, Belfast, UK.
Should we get tickets when he comes to Oz?
Do you actually? I know if he if he just came here.
We'll get all the Sausage Boys fans.
Yeah.
We'll all get a
Oh my
ticket to his
God,
show.
yes.
And
fedoras.
we'll start a surge to the front. And let's just say the following night he'll be in a strip club spending $1 million.
We don't know what happened, but Ollie Murs' Sydney show resulted in 15 people dead. Hundreds of fans of this apparent comedy podcast in quotations.
Yeah, he's we were talking about it. Travis Scott's album sales has boosted. After that.
Really?
Yeah, it always happens.
It does, doesn't it? It's like we were saying about the R. Kelly thing, wasn't it? Went up like 400%.
Maybe it was a PR stunt. Like we're just gonna
That'd be
have
pretty
to
interesting,
trample
yeah.
some people.
Travis, we got to, because he's been falling down.
Just paid 100 people in the audience to be like, "Yo, let's run!"
Yeah.
And
And it's like survival of the fittest. You're only going to kill kind of weaklings, people who are on their way out.
yeah,
And for that, Drake gets to spend $1 million at the strip club. It's kind of like a 9/11 thing. Do you know what I mean? Why was Drake spending $1 million in the strip club the day after if it was like new to him? I have a feeling he knew it was going to happen for weeks. He was so unaffected by it that he was almost like, oh, that's right. People died, didn't they? Gosh, that was meant to happen.
Yeah, I thought they died like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I've known about this for a year.
Because it's like the when the PR team paid that gunman to kill people at the Ariana Grande concert. And she went on to be the biggest star in the world. And
I kind of find it disrespectful that Ariana Grande wasn't at the strip club the next night after that happened.
That's true. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there probably is something there. How come people didn't try to cancel her? I like that.
That's a great angle.
I know. I want to go to Ariana Grande's house and be like 32 dead or something like that and just have huge signs.
Mac Miller and Ariana Grande are dating, and then Ariana Grande commits suicide or overdoses.
Mackie.
No, can you imagine if Ariana Grande overdosed?
Yeah.
I feel like Mac Miller would be in prison. But they weren't together at that time, were they?
Were they? I
Oh,
can't even remember.
what was I going to say? Yeah, there's this thing that's bugging me. I'm really keen to hear your take on it.
Okay.
But
I was thinking of something about Mac Miller killing himself after he heard an Ollie Murs song because he's like, I'm never going to be that good.
I feel like I could probably overdose on Ollie Murs. So I could probably listen to enough that I just die.
The coroner's come to find that's how Mac Miller died. And they're like, this is too confusing. This is too strange to even...
Have a look at this guy.
Oh, is this what you were talking about? This thing that you wanted to talk about?
So it's John Lennon.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, John Lennon in the car.
But it's not actually John Lennon, it's an impersonator.
Oh, really?
And I hate it.
You hate this John Lennon impersonator?
I hate impersonators.
He's just doing troublemaker. She's a troublemaker.
Does that make you uncomfortable? Isn't that the weirdest thing in the world?
It is what it is, though. That's the thing.
No, it's not.
It's
not what it is.
I guess if it's the fact that we're living in 2021 and these impersonators have to have an Instagram account. It's like the Elvis impersonators. It's creepy.
It's creepy as hell. What if there was a Mac Miller impersonator?
What if there was an Ollie Murs impersonator? That's not even that's just us. Like, that's not even a thing.
Yeah, I knew we were going to talk about this, so I tried to do a segue before. And it just didn't even work. So I'm about to show you an impersonator. I'm like, all right, what if I just get the thing we're talking about now and just say, what if we impersonated that? This is what went on in my head.
Yeah, of course.
I say, let's impersonate that. And then next, how about we talk about this impersonator that I brought?
Yeah, that's true. Because you never know which direction this show is going to go in, folks. We had no idea it was going to be very Ollie Murs-centric.
But it's creepy as hell. You're in John Lennon's family. You're his daughter.
Yeah.
And you just see this guy dressing up like your dad with a haircut, speaking with exactly his accent, the sideburns, just like being your dad. Imagine he was committed to the role and he kind of just started showing up to like family birthdays and stuff like that.
What? It's me. It's John Lennon.
It's me, John Lennon.
It's me, John Lennon. I've kind of lost my ability to do accents.
I kind of want to be like a John Lennon impersonator.
Oh, that's good. You impersonating that guy.
Yeah.
What about John Lemon Party?
Yeah, okay.
There's something there. There's like old guys kind of having sex to John Lennon. But I don't know. I feel like the whole idea of being an impersonator it's been around forever. Someone who would kind of their whole identity is someone else. Like the classic one is the Elvis one. You got the Michael Jacksons. It would start to mess with you a little bit. But the Michael Jackson ones are probably huge.
It kind of you're walking around your house, just doing your things like buttering your toast. You've just woken up.
You wouldn't have. You just have the hair. You just have the hair, and you're talking normally.
I don't think so. You would look in the mirror and you'd be like, "I am that."
Oh, I guess it's. What if you looked exactly like someone?
What do you do for a living? They're like, "I'm John Lennon."
Oh, you're a John Lennon impersonator. No, I'm John Lennon.
Yeah,
it was in the Beatles.
It's like John Lennon wasn't a John Lennon impersonator. And neither am I.
I don't know. It's been a living, especially in the early 2000s. I feel it was kind of like, hey, this guy's an impersonator. If he looked like someone, there was a real career. Same with like being a stuntman. There are all these jobs that kind of existed that went away. Impersonator's a weird one because it's kind of gone away.
I was just thinking, if you are a John Lennon impersonator,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, I'm a John Lennon impersonator, that's what you say to people, then
Yeah.
you're kind of a John Lennon impersonator, because you're impersonating a John Lennon if you walk up to someone and say, I am John Lennon,
Yeah.
that would be...
A John Lennon impersonator.
Yes.
Impersonator.
No, you would have to walk up to someone and say, I am... This is terrible podcasting. This is terrible podcasting.
I was thinking of John Lennon, and it's who's that guy Lennon from in the World War II or something like that. I think it was a Russian soldier.
What was his name?
What was it? Lenin. Vladimir Lenin. Yeah,
Yeah,
Premier
I'm
of
a
the
Lennon
Soviet Union.
impersonator.
Yes, yeah. I listen to Lenin, and it's a guy listening to kind of thoughts about kind of Soviet propaganda. There's something there, folks. Again, you can put it together. John Lennon, Vladimir Lenin.
Yeah.
But yeah, what other stories we got going on here?
I hate this guy.
Dude,
Here he is on TV
I don't know
performing a
if I hate
Beatles
him.
song.
I don't know if I hate him. I get it. He looks like him. He looks just like him. And it's like, why not take advantage of that? It's like if someone's going to look like Justin Bieber in 20 years, and there'll be a full-time Justin Bieber impersonator.
He looks exactly like...
And that's why Jackson does an impersonation of a gay guy every day, which is interesting. He does look just like him. It's kind of creepy. How many followers? 107,000. Is he following Ollie Murs? Is there
You know what it probably is? He always comes up on my reels for some reason.
Why are you following him?
I'm not following him.
You probably clicked on enough videos of his.
It comes up in my reel. I guess because he's kind of popping. He's got like...
It's a you thing. Do you know who comes up on my stories? And is that girl from Squid Game? All the time.
Oh, really?
All the time. Like, look at this. Okay. She's there.
Dude, they're all different chicks.
There. Okay. There.
These are just different Asian people.
There. I've actually got hotasianbabes.com. There. I don't know. But it's funny. When when you're looking at something a lot, even if you don't want it to, like she's been on my story since I watched Squid Game. What about Skid Game? And there's like guys on BMXs like skidding like...
What about like Skid Game and you just go to like a public bathroom and kind of just leave the streaks down the bowl?
That's good.
What
Whoever
about,
has most skid marks kind of wins.
What about...
Have you seen the Mr. Beast recreating Squid Game?
What's Mr. Beast?
Is that YouTuber? He does all these over-the-top sort of things. He was the guy that... He started off He read the dictionary. He counted to 100,000. He was doing all these kind of like... What's it called? Fatigue sort of challenge things.
Yeah.
And he's kind of... He just kept on doing random... It's crazy where what he does is he spends money to make money. He'd be like, hey, I'm giving away a Ferrari to random people.
Yeah.
And then so many people will be like, oh, okay, that's an amazing video to watch. And he'll make enough money to cover the expenses. Each of his videos usually cost like $1 million or something to make. I think.
He's like, I'm going to go to a strip club after a Travis Scott concert. Right.
Yeah, I thought Jackson was going to look up Mr. Beast. We're still looking at that impersonator, which is...
Oh, you want me to look him up?
No, you don't even need to look him up, but...
I'm going to watch 1,000 hours of Ollie Murs and not blow my brains out.
But I think he did that. He watched Everyday Bro for 10 hours.
Sorry, I'm coming in here with real negative energy.
No, it's good.
But what about
He
him?
does that sort of stuff.
What's the...
Oh, he's recreating Squid Game completely, and I think there's a $1.5 million prize. But he's basically just recreating it. I think he's the biggest guy on YouTube, or the second biggest, or something.
No.
I think so.
He's only got 74.8 million subscribers.
That's pretty huge, I think. Oh, actually, no. Those weird kids' toys have more, don't they? Actually, I'm gonna look it up. Most YouTube. I love to most YouTube. Number 3 is Ollie Murs. Interesting. I would like that. It just doesn't make sense. It's like I don't know how, but Ollie Murs has. Okay, what did he have? How many did he have? 78.
Yeah.
He would be in the top 10.
Really?
Yeah, it's a big drop.
74 he had, yeah.
74. Oh, okay, yeah, he'd be in the top 10. WWE's in the top 10. Kids, all this kids stuff. There's a channel called Gaming, PewDiePie, YouTube Movies. I wish we could do something to kind of get Ollie Murs to be the most subscribed person on YouTube. I would really love it.
How could we do that?
And just get Troublemaker up to like billions of views.
How could we do that?
Be like, hey guys, my friend said he'll be straight if we can do this. And then everyone kind of gets together and does it. It's like, we got to do it. We got to do it for him. We got to do it for his family.
Man, you could probably troll like a Catholic school and all the teachers would make like the students submit a thing. You know what I mean? Find some really extreme religious school.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, we need everyone to post a video of this thing. Because he said if this happens, then he'll be straight. And you do that. You send that to the Catholic school. You send that to... Can you be gay in Judaism? There's no afterlife.
Oh, that's true.
So it doesn't matter, I guess.
I guess are all Jewish people gay?
Not all. Some.
I don't know. I think it was It was Milo Yiannopoulos that said that. He was like, all black and Jewish people are the most gay people.
Wait, do you have any Jewish?
Yeah, I'm 1% Jewish.
I see you're... Yeah, so I guess there are some gay people in Judaism.
Okay, because you realize Jackson is actually 100% Jewish.
I'm
So that's
100%...
Anyway, folks. What else was going on in the world? The gym saga update. I've got that.
Yeah, because we went there.
We went
the
there.
guy was exactly how you described.
He was doing the hand thing almost like he was being a caricature of himself.
Yes.
And he couldn't do anything. He just told me a whole bunch of nonsense, a whole bunch of nothing.
He must... I wanted to make another Ollie Murs joke, but I just want to leave it. I just kind of want to forget about it.
I don't.
We got to forget about it and then kind of bring it back.
Yeah, we got to bring it back.
We've got to make one big joke at the
That's
end.
true.
That's
true. That's
For anyone listening hoping to make a podcast, that's the formula.
That's the actual formula. You reintroduce
You talk
this
about
idea,
something for 40
this kind
minutes.
of. You forget about it for 20, and then you bring it back in the last minute, and then you're like, okay, well, we can't get better than that.
Yeah.
It's that whole what's it called? It's that separation makes the heart grow fonder, or something like that. It's like being in a relationship. If you don't see that person for a month, then they come back.
Yes.
You love them more.
Yeah.
This Ollie Murs joke, we separate you for 20 minutes, and then we come back, and you're like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You realize how funny it is. Right now, we're not there because we haven't taken...
by laws. You're like, I swear to God, if they say it one more time, I'm turning this off. Which is what you're feeling exactly right now, but then we're not going to say it until the last minute, and you go, that's right.
And you'd be like, that was all worth it. Yeah. But it's awkward now because we're not there. We haven't stopped talking about it. And it may not even happen for 5 minutes. Maybe for the next 5 minutes we'll keep talking about it, and then we'll wait the 20.
So this gym guy.
Wait, how are we going for time? I want to see if we can hit the nail on the head. I'm going to see how perfect we can do.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
We can do it. We can do it. Yeah.
How are we going?
We're
time.
40 minutes.
40 minutes. Okay. So
Wait. We've got one more second. Ollie Murs.
Ollie Murs. Okay, we can't do it anymore.
All right.
So I went to Ollie Murs. Anyway.
Ollie Murs. I mean, go on.
Okay, we'll stop talking about Ollie Murs. We'll stop talking about it now, Ollie Murs.
All right. Get them all out. Ollie Murs.
3, 2, 1. Ollie.
Did I tell you about what happened on Ollie Murs Thursday?
That's such Austin Powers, isn't it?
Yeah.
We just have a stick. We just have a stick that says Ollie Murs on it, and we're just putting it over the camera. Okay.
All right. You were saying about
That
the gym
bit's
guy.
done. So I went to the gym.
Who's Ollie Murs? Yeah, sorry. So you were at the gym?
Yes. So I went to the gym. And
You were talking to the guy with the headache?
yeah, talking to the guy with the headache. This is after we went. So I go there and I basically... What was I? I just wanted to kind of annoy him. Because I said to you, I was like, I'm going to be back tomorrow.
You were being a bit of a troublemaker.
I was-
would you say? Yeah, go on, sorry.
Folks, that's good. He's hitting like complete...
I think that's well within...
That's been 20 minutes, hasn't it?
Yeah, so...
We usually go for an hour 15 anyway, so we can keep flying for the Ollie Murs stuff. But yeah, I get there 2 days later,
Yeah.
and then I say to him, what's happening? He gives me the exact same thing. He's like, the exact same thing with the hands. This time it's not even fun anymore. And then I talked to him, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm just still waiting to hear back from them. And then he says, I think there's an issue with the building, with the pass, with our door. And it's like, I'm just going to have to figure out how to get that fixed. And then I realized that, okay, it's not management's problem. This is your problem now. It's your building. The
Yes.
pass doesn't work here.
Yeah.
He was refusing to kind of even... He didn't give me anything. He was just basically trying to shrug it off like, yeah, I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, I'm starting a new job. I'm going to need access. I'm paying for this.
100%.
Like, it was...
Were you mad? Like, were you...
I was...
Were you kind of showing signs that you were...
I almost cornered him. I basically was trying to say, I'm not leaving until I get a pass to this gym.
You were kind of treating him like a schoolgirl.
Is that Ollie Murs?
No. It's just what you do to schoolgirls.
That's what
you
you
corner them.
Yeah, you corner them. And
So you cornered
kind of,
him, and were kind of like, I need this.
I was kind of like, how about I just get a... Because he mentioned the guest pass. He's like, it would look a bit weird if I gave you one of the guest passes for you to get in, because manager me like, oh, what's going on there? And I was like, how about I just get one of those? I think management's going to understand that I'm unable to get in, and that's why I have to get another pass. And then he kind of walks. He's very autistic, this guy. He doesn't say anything. He walks over and he says, make him up a week guest pass. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of goes and sits down. And then the two girls are like, kind of, yes, it was so happy. Like, thank you. I commend your patience and everything.
The girls kind of did that to you.
The two girls were doing that for me. And they were kind of giving me looks like, I can't believe it's taken this long. And it's like, I don't know why we weren't able to do this earlier. And then it finally gets done. And there's like a round of applause from the casino, which is kind of next door. And the girl's like, congratulations, I can't believe it's finally happened. I'm so happy to give this to you. The guy is staring down at his laptop. He won't give up. He didn't give eye contact after he went over to the girls. Then I say, thank you so much. I say, kind of wave to the casino staff who've been letting me in. I look at him, he's face down, not wanting to acknowledge me. And I'm
What do you
ready
mean a round
to...
of applause? You're joking.
No, not even.
What do you mean a round of applause? The other people that kind of knew this fiasco.
Yeah, because what happened, I needed permission to get into the gym. So whenever I went to the gym, because I would go after hours, one of the casino staff would have to let me in. It would be a huge thing. Sometimes it would take like 5 to 10 minutes for them to kind of go through person to person to person and be like, what's going on? This guy needs to be led into the gym. One guy just knew me. He's like, here he is. Okay, let's let you in. Da-da-da-da-da. There was a auditory...
What is going on?
Like, woo! When that happened.
I wish you said something. Can you literally say something next time?
To
the guy.
I'm ready to write him a really solid Google review. I'll say the staff's amazing here.
Say it to him. Like, threaten him.
I don't know if it's going to work. He's that kind of guy that it wouldn't work. Again, I'm also non-confrontational.
No, like...
It's crazy.
You have to razz people sometimes to...
I know, because I've got and again,
up.
I've only got a week pass. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to have to go down on Thursday.
Man, I'm paying for this.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the fact that the two other girls are like, yeah, I don't know why this didn't happen earlier. Casino staff are giving me a round of applause. He won't give me eye contact. I feel it's a weird power move on his end. It's... probably the worst customer service I've ever had in my entire life.
You should try speaking to other people there or so. I don't know. Whatever.
Again, they're all kind of foreign girls who barely speak English.
No, some of the people that go there.
Um,
attend the gym. Be like, have you had problems with that guy?
Oh, that's true. That might be an interesting one. Yeah. I'm ready to write a full Karen kind of essay on the Google page.
That's nothing, man.
I think it's something because, again, they're forced to respond. I was going to write a really nicely worded one, something along the lines of, the staff here are amazing.
I don't think you want this guy fired. I don't think you want him to lose his job.
I want him to lose his job.
The nicer thing would just be to razz him.
No, what would I say? I wouldn't get any response.
I'm paying for this service. You have...
No, that's what I said. I was like, I'm paying for this stuff and I can't even get into the gym. And that's when I kind of cornered him. Oh, I cornered him. I'm not the kind of person to...
The last time we were there...
Oh, the last time
you were like, oh, okay, yeah, and when will I be able to get that thing?
I know I was.
Oh,
I was being cucked.
Too easy.
Yeah, I know.
And then we
You're
go
right.
in there,
You're right.
and then I'm like, man, have you ever snapped at anyone? You're like, that's the closest I've ever come.
I know, yeah, you're a good point. I know. I'm not really a confrontational person. It's what's very new to me. I don't think I have it in me to do that, but I've got the sliminess in me to do something behind his back.
And that's what I'm saying. This is almost like being like, to someone's face, you're like, no, it's fine. And then you wait till they're asleep and smother them.
That's literally me.
That's what you would do.
I want to do the Ollie Murs joke so badly, but
I
can't figure anything out.
You're a troublemaker.
Yeah, there's something there. It'll come naturally, folks. We'll let it all go. But
it'll just, yeah. I mean, once you're on that Google, it'll just flow. Write a really good review, and he'll know not to mess with the troublemaker, which is you, Ollie Murs. Yeah, anyway.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I don't know how to feel. I assume the Google review is going to do it. But anyway, I'm
not going to do anything.
Okay, anyone
Just
listening to this,
and...
it's World Gym Castlereagh, the manager there. I'm putting it out there now. Yeah. Anyone listening, worst customer service I've ever had in my entire life.
Send them a
clip of this podcast.
Send them a bomb in the mail. Send them anthrax.
I know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I want to dox his family.
In the mail.
Yeah.
I mean that.
Yes.
Send them anthrax.
Anyone listening to this, if you have any inclinations
and if you do it and remain anonymous,
yeah,
you can just assume that I did it. You can just, I will take the full rap.
Oh yeah, I will.
I'm disclaimer. I'm joking. I don't have
joking. I don't know why he's winking right now. But any crazy podcast, anyone that listens to this podcast is probably mentally ill. So if you do want to take it out anywhere,
I'm mad at this guy.
Oh. It's the craziest thing that's ever happened to
We'll,
me.
we'll get an update next week on that
Yeah,
whole
we'll
thing.
figure. I'm gonna have to go down there on Thursday.
Uh,
But yeah, it's crazy.
what's the deal with, have you watch like a blockbuster movie
Yeah.
and they just play the same song again and again and again? They play
oh my
like
gosh, that's yes.
like
yes.
Amy and I watched what's it called? The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And they just had hit song after hit song for every different scene. They'd introduce a new character and then they'd play that.
Right.
It was, they probably had 50 number one hits.
Dang, so they're spending a lot of money on this service to get the big songs.
Yeah, but it's just like, how bad is this movie? What, Brother Bear?
What's
Yeah.
this?
On the way.
Yeah.
What about it?
This is like a classic movie song.
Yeah.
Like it is great. This is going to also be the song that's played as I go downstairs with a loaded with a loaded AR-15 and start letting off rounds into World Gym Castlereagh. This isn't a joke, by the way.
Yeah, but they played on that Suicide Squad movie, they played Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones.
Right.
And then, what else was it? It was another movie, that pickpocket movie with Margot Robbie and Will Smith.
Right.
And they had that song, Sympathy for the Devil,
Okay.
by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Amy and I were talking about that today.
Yeah.
And she's like, this movie that I'm watching, Cruella, is pretty good.
Mm.
But it's just got that thing. Because I've pointed it out before. If a movie has that many hits,
It's good.
it's not good.
Oh, it's not good because they've blown their whole budget on the audio and they don't have enough.
Yeah, because it's the last thing you do while editing almost.
Of course.
You don't put together a transcript for a movie and you're like, oh yeah, and I was picturing Troublemaker by Ollie Murs here.
You're wanting to win an Academy Award. That's the only time you would choose.
You know what I
that
mean?
song.
But you've
Yeah.
got like a Tarantino, and the songs just plays perfectly.
That's true. That's true.
Amy just messaged me and said I just finished the movie and they played "Sympathy for the Devil" by the Rolling Stones at the end.
Wow. She didn't even know it going in, but this has been a thing now.
We spoke about that today, and then she watched that movie after we spoke about
I
it.
don't even know what that song sounds like.
Alright.
I'm gonna take a quick wazzy for the folks.
All right. Yeah, what were you saying?
Oh yeah, do you know? It's so weird to repeat it. Do you know? I thought of an idea for a kids series, like how Lilo and Stitch only plays Elvis.
Yeah.
It's weird saying that again, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
Emperor's New Groove only playing like Kool and the Gang or something like that. I was thinking of a kids TV show. They only play Ollie Murs songs.
That's
Like
pretty good.
Like 12 seasons. That's all they play. But anyway, let's hear this song.
Oh yeah. All right. This is "Sympathy for the Devil" by the Rolling Stones. For anyone.
Stones. I can't even imagine what this sounds like. This is probably the best Rolling Stones song I've ever heard in my entire life. Do you know, it's not a... yeah. Anyone that wants to follow along, we could do like a listen along podcast where
You're
we...
in trouble. Yeah, this is. This is.
Can we play that little bit again? Do you want to have the Ollie Murs music video over it? Let's see. Right. Oh, yeah, I have heard this in a lot
For
of
some reason,
movies.
this song's in every fucking movie, and
Yeah.
it's just.
Maybe it's cheap.
It very well. No, but I don't know.
Do you think they've got like some special on it? Like whoever has the publishing is like, oh yeah, no, we have a discount if you want to use it in a blockbuster.
That's
something
exactly
like
what
that.
I said,
Yeah.
but they're putting like 50 songs in. I wonder if it's something to do with like streaming, and now it's like just a great way to work your catalog.
Of course. You're probably
Something-
realizing, because again, music's gonna... Someone's always gonna
And then
kind
you
of
have
lose.
you have a movie by Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
like Suicide Squad, and
Yeah.
then they can just work their music catalog or something like that.
Yes.
What do you?
I'm smiling because we do have topics, and I was just thinking about like just throwing Ollie Murs in it and stuff like that. Yeah, but there wasn't much. There was something about I think we've done everyone. 12 people to arrest a black man in Bondi. I was gonna say he was playing something other than Ollie Murs.
How many Ollie Murs? Say you get a DJ gig and you're at a club. How many Ollie Murs songs do you think you could play back to back before it could become a problem?
Just literally just an Ivy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know this one," and then the second Ollie Murs song.
Sue me.
Then you just replay it. Everyone's like, "Woo!" Because they're kind of drunk and they're not really with it. And then maybe you play a second Ollie Murs song, and then everyone's like, "Oh, I don't really know this." And then you play Troublemaker again. People are like, "Okay, yeah." And then you play a different Ollie Murs song.
And it's such an awkward thing. Like, how does that conversation go down? Like, the audience is kind of like looking at each other. Like, they'd have to kind of contact the bar.
Yeah.
The bar would have to contact the management and kind of come over and be like, "Can you play something else?" The audience would have to contact the bar would have to contact the manager would have to come over and say, "Thank you. You were doing God's work."
You just see the DJ, you can barely make out his face. He's got a fedora. This is what you mean. It's just Ollie Murs.
I kind of like the idea of like Ollie Murs kind of doing that.
Playing his own songs.
I kind of like the idea of doing that, of him doing that. And
my goodness gracious.
And then kind of like, they come over and they're like, they're like, "DJ OM, you can't be. They're like, "You can't just be playing." They're like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "All right, you got me." And he like takes the fedora off and he's like, "It's me, Ollie Murs." And like picks up a microphone and kind of starts just singing along to his song.
You give me everything. It's good. Oh my goodness.
Why does
Just having a full successful career as a DJ and it's like pulling that move consistently at nightclubs. Security has to literally remove him. Oh wow.
All right. We said we wouldn't talk about Ollie Murs.
I love the idea. He's just in this really successful nightclub. He spent hours DJing.
Who, Ollie Murs?
Yeah, and he's just playing his songs 3 times.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
gets called out.
he gets escorted out by the security, and they can't turn off like the mixer. They can't turn it off. He's like, put some lock on it.
They come over and they're like, "Yo, why you just play 3 songs back to back that no one knows?" And he's like, got the fedora down, and he's like, "Oh, very funny prank, you troublemaker."
I love the idea of Ollie Murs just being at like a public venue and his song gets played. He goes up to the DJ and he's like, "Hey, good to meet you." And the guy's like, "Hey, mate, how you going?" He just has no idea who he is. And he's like, "This is actually me on the song." He's like, "Oh, cool, man. There's a lot of other people here." And he's like,
He just kind of goes up behind the decks and hangs out with the DJ. He's just like throwing up a chair. He's like, "I'll take it from here, man."
my goodness gracious. Oh, folks, I'm on the floor. Wow. I don't even know if this is going to translate over into a podcast, but this has been probably the funniest thing.
What else?
Okay.
What else? Well, we're
Wow.
there.
Wow.
We're there. There was one thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh
goodness.
So there's this like Australian comedian. They call her.
Yeah.
I don't think she does stand up. I think she just does silly videos online and whatever.
Yeah.
Celeste Barber.
Yes. Oh, I've heard of that name.
Yeah. So
She
essentially,
like goes on stage with like clippers.
here, have a little gaze of this. So she kind of recreates photos.
Oh,
done-
that. I hate that.
I hate it too.
I hate that so much.
Okay, so essentially what she's doing is
I hate it.
there's like a picture of like Kendall Jenner wearing
Goodness.
looking
I hate it when guys do it.
really nice.
Yeah.
She's wearing like a bikini in
Yeah.
this photo. And then
Wow.
this chick what's her name? Celeste
Barber.
does
She's
wears
basically
those
yeah.
clothes,
She's wearing
but-
the exact same thing that Kendall Jenner's wearing.
but is kind of taking the piss.
yeah.
She's like doing it like, oh, like I'm a
Look at me, I'm Kendall Jenner. I can't stand it when guys do it, even if it's a big fat hairy guy. It's never funny. I don't think that's ever once been funny ever.
but then you've got like what's her name?
Emily Ratajkowski.
Yeah, and she's got like she's covering her breasts with her
Yeah.
hand, and then she's got like a flower covering her genitals.
Yes.
And then what's
Celeste is doing the same
doing
thing.
the same
She's
thing.
wearing.
But like, look at her face. She's not.
She's trying to look like, oh, look at me.
She's trying to look
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah.
When you have like a but
Or
I
kind of
mean,
like, look, I'm not attractive and I'm doing that. It's the worst thing on
here's
earth.
why it doesn't translate.
Yeah.
Because it's like she's not saying, "Oh, I'm a regular woman and I can do that too."
Yeah.
It's kind of like, why does it annoy you?
At a very real visceral level. Like, this is what I hate about it is let them be. They're models. It is what it is. It doesn't have to be as.
She's doing a parody of this thing.
Yeah, she's doing a parody
what's
of
the
all these
angle?
looks. I can't figure out the angles when the guys do it. I'm like, that's just not funny. I get you're trying to be Kim Kardashian. You're doing the thing where she had the wine bottle there and she's popping the thing. It's just
But
never.
You have this one where,
Kylie Jenner.
Kylie Jenner is wearing like a bikini,
Yeah.
a bathing suit.
Yeah.
And then she's doing it, and she's wearing one with like, it's got like chest hair on this thing.
Is it chest hair? Is it chest hair or is that just? Oh, I see.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
kind of got chest hair. I don't. Yeah, it's what I don't really get the angle.
So I'll get into this story in
Yeah.
a minute. I just really want to paint the picture of.
Of course, because I can't. This is one of my least favorite things on earth.
Dude, it's annoyed me for so long, but I'm just like, this has
Yeah.
nothing to do with me. Do you know what I mean? So I can just
Yeah, it's a. What's she, oh, here we go.
Oh, she does
Recreating.
do stand up. It looks like.
Funny.
Okay, so
Oh, she did a whole thing on recreating celebrity Instagram pics on. When was that? 2 years
That's
ago. on
this
Jimmy
is the
Kimmel.
only.
So that's what she's famous for, is it?
But it's like she does this thing. The lighting is terrible in her ones. It's like she's getting this fine work of art
Yeah,
and just being like,
I know. Like,
I can't
hey,
even.
look, they're gonna do a. How about a silly version now with me?
Pause the pod if you're listening. Look into it, and I don't. It's very hard to describe what is annoying about
It's
it.
a great one because, again, you've got the ideas. If there's someone who's like severely obese, you could
Yeah.
be like, I'm gonna have trouble even explaining this because I don't know what it is exactly. This kills. I cannot
hard to put your
stand
finger-
this. I cannot
Here's
stand it.
here's my thing. I've seen it come up for so long, like her
Yeah.
posting stuff like that, and I'm just like, well, I'm not the audience for it.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, this might be very empowering for women who are like,
She's
kind of
not
those-
overly. She's not overweight. She just looks like an average woman as well. She
It's
just looks like a normal person.
kind of like, so for other average women of her age group who are
Mm.
probably like in their like mid to late 30s or something.
Yeah.
It is. I can understand why it would be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this ironically. I'm
Yeah.
taking the piss out of this other thing. But the problem with it is... So, yeah, I've understood that, and I've just been like, well, this isn't for me. Find it annoying, but it's not a problem. But what's going on is she is kind of now... It's becoming questionable. It's copped a tidal wave of criticism.
After she did
For
one
her
mocking
latest-
the Travis Scott, she's in the concert kind of pretending to be dead. Like, hey, look, I was like the people dying.
For her latest post, accusing the supermodel of objectifying women's bodies. Because she is...
Oh, she's doing a whole thing like...
She did a parody of
Oh, wait, I
Emily
think I've heard about this. Have I?
Ratajkowski.
Yes, I have heard about this one. Yes, everyone was blowing up about this on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, the 39-year-old who is known for playfully roasting ridiculous beauty ideals.
Yeah.
And that's the guise under which it's under. Ridiculous beauty ideals.
Okay, yes.
But that's like... I mean...
This is a great topic, by the way. This is something I have seen earlier this week. People went wild. A lot of Instagram people I follow.
But it's the Australian comedian's caption. So her caption was, "We are sick of you objectifying our bodies. Also, here's my ass."
Yeah.
That was the caption that she wrote on that photo. And the onslaught of criticism has been thick and fast.
Talking about her body.
With many describing the caption as missing the mark and accusing it of being an example of internalized misogyny.
I know, I remember reading that. A lot of Instagram models in particular were blowing it up. Maybe because it's a bit too real. It's a really good discussion when it's like, hey, stop objectifying our bodies, and like, hey, here's my body.
Here's the thing, though, but it's like in just the same way as some people have some things in their toolkits.
Yeah.
That's what, like in this world, that's what women have in their toolkits.
But they are in that, if they choose to go down that route, they are objectifying themselves.
But they can, yeah, but
you make that decision.
The reason that they're saying you're missing the mark is because it's kind of like, I can do that. I can kind of use the assets that I've been given.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you kind of get to then... It's kind of like the look, don't touch thing. Just because I can...
The OnlyFans debate. The OnlyFans debate is very closely linked with this. It's like, hey, I should be able to have an OnlyFans, and I should still be respected. But then it comes like most men will not actually respect a woman who has an OnlyFans. Or does porn, da-da-da-da-da. It just comes... It's a very good debate.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's say it's your daughter, and she's choosing to do that, or she starts an OnlyFans. What would your kind of angle be? What would you say to her? Because men do not respect those women. Again, most of them are misogynistic men.
Yeah.
But I think even kind of men who are more in the middle would never respect a woman who kind of is overtly objectifying herself. Because they can see it. And it's so obvious. In particularly when it's like not done in a tasteful way. Which I feel a lot of girls who do OnlyFans, it's not really done tastefully.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, get that bread.
I know, all the girls are chanting that. All the guys are kind of like, she's a... Yeah, they have a lot of things to say. They'd see her as a piece of meat now.
Yeah, you're being seen as a piece of meat. You're deciding that. I'm going to exchange monetary... I'm going to swap that for that.
Yeah, and it's like, as a man, you're like, I'm never... Oh, she's not going to be a role model to my daughter. I'm not going to look up to her with any sort of respect now. Now she's just a piece of meat. And I've seen it happen on Instagram, girls that I follow. I'm kind of like, I like how she's kind of empowering, but she's not kind of overdoing it. And then they get an OnlyFans. They slowly go down this rabbit hole. And then it's like, okay, I've lost you. I lost you years ago.
What is it? A boundaries thing, maybe?
It's like...
Something like that.
It's about being tasteful. Again, I even kind of mentioned this at the start of the episode. You've got these girls, Chloe and Halle.
Right.
You can look them up. They're like two sisters. Beyonce signed them or whatever. One of the girls is very tastefully kind of showing that she's got a body and stuff like that. The other one's going over the top. Chloe Bailey is the one that had a video. Everyone's going wild
Chloe.
about Bailey. If you type in Chloe Bailey video, she's like Lollipop. That's what it is. Where's the lolly? Maybe type in Lollipop next to it. Everyone's been going crazy about this Lollipop video. Yeah, this is it.
Why? Because it's too.
It's just over the top. It's just not done
Wait,
tastefully.
why does it go for 13 minutes?
I might
guess that's
show
not
the
it.
video first, and there's probably someone talking about it. Yeah, everyone's going crazy. But this is a good example of, like, her sister is literally doing similar stuff, but very tastefully. But Chloe's doing it in kind of... It's like, yeah, we get it. Yeah, if you watch the video, you can put on the sound or whatever.
Well, it's probably easy. You know what I mean?
It's silly.
But
It's-
here's the thing,
Mm.
and this is what I'm saying. It's part of the toolkit. You can use that to gain from it,
Yeah.
and you might be like, people won't respect me or whatever.
No,
have
but you
someone
can you can
you have
use it
someone like-
with still getting respect. It's like her sister does it. Her sister's still showing herself, but keeping it quite tasteful. And everyone's like, wow. It's kind of like part of the tease. But you know, have her, she's got like a lollipop in her mouth. She's insinuating fellatio.
But what
and
is it that makes someone less easy to respect? Is it like is promiscuity kind of linked with, or is it unhealthy boundaries? You're like, well, you're just willing to show the world kind of this thing.
I guess so, yeah. It's not having any, for lack of a better term, like class with it. It can be done in a very classy way, and then there's
Yeah.
a real class. It's like Miley Cyrus. That was classless when she went through that period of being ratchet. It was like she's just being trashy. And then you could have someone who still shows their body, probably like a, kind of like a Mariah Carey, maybe,
I feel like
Beyonce.
You kind of see people kind of go past that mark, and it's almost like an addiction or something like that.
Yes.
It's so easy to kind of get that fix.
And they're doing porn, basically, at the end
It's
of
like,
it. That's how it ends.
I would do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like a Miley Cyrus interview with Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
and she's like, oh yeah, da da da, they're hot as fuck. I would fuck blah 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 blah.
He's talking
like-
about Ollie Murs, by the way.
Yeah. She's like, why?
He's like, yeah, Johnny,
That's a
put that video up.
choice. It is a choice, just being like, but it's totally within someone's right to do that.
Mm.
Do you know
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean?
definitely. But it comes down to how you do it. And again, I could name like 100 accounts of it being done tastefully, and then 100 of accounts of it being done distastefully. And it usually comes down to the person, or maybe like their PR team, or them what they're willing to accept. Like, let's say even as comedians, right? There's certain ways we could kind of objectify ourselves. It's the whole idea in the black community of wearing the dress.
What is that?
Like when a black celebrity or a black comedian is forced to dress up like a woman. That's a big debate in the black community. And they're all like...
when they are a woman.
No, when they're a guy. Like Dave Chappelle wearing a dress, Eddie Murphy kind of wearing a dress. There's this whole idea of like...
That's a metaphor.
Bigger than a metaphor, it's a thing that happens. It's like they've put on the dress.
Wear a literal dress.
A literal dress.
What do you...
It's like they cross dress for laughs. Or they're in a movie dressing up as a woman.
Has that happened?
Happens all the time. It's a huge debate.
I think I'm missing the mark here. So they're like, all right, you're like part of the black community. You shouldn't
Yeah.
have to...
Or like, let's say you're Damon and... not Damon Wayans. Who is it? The two Wayans brothers who did White Chicks.
Yeah.
So you guys have been comedians. You've been around the scene. You've been doing funny things. And then you go and do White Chicks. And to the black community, it's like you lost our respect now.
For appealing to...
For appealing to kind of... They want to emasculate you. And kind of be like, hey, look at him now. They're wearing a dress. There's that whole idea in the black community of these white directors are like, no, you're going to wear a dress now. How about you do this scene? And you're going to dress up like a woman.
Right.
And everyone's going to lose their respect for you.
That's really interesting.
It's kind of like the dancing thing. Like there's that video of Bobby Shmurda, like dancing on the table. There's this whole idea of
Because it's
kind
feminine.
it's more than feminine, but kind of losing respect for yourself. Like you have a certain level of respect, and certain acts can kind of signify that you've lost your self-respect.
I think that's a bit presumptuous to think that.
Again,
Like
this
the
is the
Wayans
this is the black
brothers-
community as well. This isn't something I believe, but I
Like
know this is talked
like the
about.
Wayans brothers, for instance, where that's just not a funny thing to them. They're not just like, oh yeah, this is something. Like, I know people personally that would just. It just wouldn't bother them because they're secure in that kind
That's
of
the
thing.
difference as well. It's like there are people who would always wear a dress, and it's like usually the black community and stuff would be like, "Oh yeah, Prince, go ahead." He's always been that guy. But it's the whole idea of kind of like the Dave Chappelles, the Wayans brothers, who kind of would never really want to do it, but they're being forced into
I
it.
disagree. I mean, actually, you know what? That's very ignorant of me. I really
Yeah.
haven't looked into it at all.
Yeah,
But
but it's just something that happens.
I mean, I think that's some weird internalized thing. That's like someone being like, say your girlfriend is out with her friends,
Yeah.
and some guy who's like, wait, where is she?
Yeah.
Yo, man, you better check on her.
Yeah, of course. It's the
Because it's
exact
like
same
you've
thing.
got to,
Yeah.
It's yeah,
It's a what's it called?
an
It's
insecurity.
it's
that's
a
kind of-
re
that's
it stems
being
from a lot of
projected.
insecurity.
Where it's
In
just-
particular,
this
yeah.
wouldn't matter to these people. They're like, my goal is to make millions of dollars and be a celebrity star. And then it's like, oh yeah, that'll be really funny for that movie. It's like, hell yeah, I'll do that.
I think
They're not.
yeah. There's a
In-
difference between that and this is the whole idea again, this is a radical idea, but the white producers are saying you're gonna wear a dress. You don't have an option. And again, it stems back to slavery where it's kinda like you would you get kind of was it buck taming or something like that. The whole idea of like emasculating black men to kind of knock them down a peg and remember, yeah, you're always kind of like a slave.
Wow.
You're always this thing. And it's like, hey, you think you might have all this power, you might be funny and that, but I'm going to make you wear this dress
I
to
mean, the world's
remind
an
you.
evil place. It could be.
Yes,
that
it's
could be true.
interesting.
I can't see it, but I also haven't looked into it, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to.
Again, it's an idea of it really exists to the point where you've got to no issue when a flamboyant person who's naturally flamboyant and doesn't care, like the princes and kind of like more open-minded kind of comedians, but it's usually the ones who would never really, and they're not proud of it, and they're like, oh, okay, fine, how much? I'll do it for $100,000 more. You want me to dress quick? Let's do the scene. Okay, let's just do it. Let's get it over and done with. That's kind of the idea, and I feel. I don't even know where it came from, but tying that one back to the idea of selling your body. You have these girls that go down this rabbit hole, and then you can kind of, yeah, it's probably not connected too much.
It's so tricky because you have a conversation with a woman who is proud of Bad Baby for
doing the OnlyFans.
and making so much money on it. It's like, no, she's just doing her thing
Yeah.
and showing off kind of that thing. But it's like, yeah, but you have this woman who just worked really hard at a regular job
Yeah.
without. What would you? It's like a shortcut almost.
Yeah, I guess.
And
And
then,
then,
but,
yeah.
but yeah, you have this woman who's worked really hard to like pay for herself through university or something like that. It just
AOC,
becomes an
Alexandria
accountant.
Ocasio-Cortez, is a great example.
Right.
She's a really attractive woman, but she chose the route of like politics and that. She's kind of lifting people up. She's never exposing herself, even though men kind of there's like a whole bunch of fake nudes of her and stuff like that. She's this strong, independent woman who isn't going to expose herself for men.
But then you have maybe like Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah, she's the other direction, which is fascinating.
But she's so powerful. I think she could intimidate a lot of men.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I'm sexy.
Yeah. Of
And
course.
I'm gonna show what I've got,
Mm.
and you're gonna love that. You know what I mean? Like, I
Mm.
think that's like an attractive kind of That's a powerful quality to be like, I've got this thing. And it's empower. Say there's a woman who has like a little bit of extra weight.
Yeah.
And she was to like cut that weight down.
Yeah. Like Adele.
And she feels great about her body.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, because now I can be like, it's the same for a man. Like if a man was to work out a lot and feel better about their body and they go to the beach and they're going to take their singlet off that they always wear.
Yeah.
They're going to just feel so good and feel attractive in that. And then you go to...
But then you have that same guy if he does like a photo shoot for a gay magazine. Or if he does like Dolly magazine and he's kind of like oiling up his abs and he's got like the V completely exposed and like pubic hair kind of shown and he's like, hey ladies. And he's wearing like a fedora.
Well, I think this troublemaker. This might say something about like the troublemaker. Something about like the inequality between men and women. But for a man to do that, he must be like a drug addict or something. He needs that money bad. Whereas for a woman, you could say like Trey Songz and Chris Brown though. They're kind of like they're sexy to women.
Yeah, but they're almost selling their bodies.
That's fine.
But still, you could kind of be like, you guys are better. You don't need to sell your bodies, Trey Songz. Put a shirt on. Then I guess you got someone like 50 Cent who's kind of like badass and doing it. But Trey Songz is almost like being a prostitute, the way he's kind of selling his body sometimes. I was like, hey, Trey, how about you put on a shirt?
It's more tasteful, though.
What?
Someone like Chris Brown.
Or Trey Songz. It's on that line of kind of like, have a little bit of respect for yourself. You're not just a piece of meat.
So there's a woman and it's like, this is your partner, Chris Brown, and they are like being super revealing and provocative in film clips and whatever. Or you have this man and it's like, here's your partner. Yeah. What, Bad Baby or something like that.
Or Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
That's your partner. How would you... And I think...
Do you follow her on IG?
Yeah.
I love her. She's so like cool.
I absolutely love her. What I did see was a good thing on Twitter. Like there was just another video of her twerking, and then everyone's just blowing up at it. Kind of, is this again? Is this all you do? Is this all you are? Da 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 da. Sometimes it reaches that point of like, okay, how about something else?
She seems fine, and on the other end, you have someone like Lizzo.
Yeah.
Who shows up to Cardi B's birthday and she's just wearing like that
I love that. I like Lizzo, outfit. Yeah.
But it's like, oh yeah, because you're like a bigger woman.
Yeah, she's pushing an agenda, which I kind of am for. I like that kind of big as beautiful agenda. Megan Thee Stallion is like, I'm just a whore. Do you know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is that you have... I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm for that. Yeah, but you also have Megan Thee Stallion. She's like, it doesn't come across like I'm gonna suck every dick here. It's like I'm sexy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You should
I know.
respect that.
Yeah.
Whereas the other thing is like slutty. It's like a girl in a gangbang video on porn.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, wow, I feel like Megan Thee Stallion's parents could have done a good job in raising this woman. She's extremely successful. She's clearly smart and seems happy and like she has her stuff together.
Yeah, it's a...
But then you have
It's a very interesting one. Again, I feel Megan's right on that line. Right on that line where it's starting to kind of be a bit questionable, but then it's like completely empowering. And then it goes back to like the last week's argument or the week before, the girls imitating her in booty shorts, the 12-year-old girls. And the girls that kind of idolize her are probably going to do similar stuff, but kind of have the wrong idea about it.
Yeah.
And then they're just suddenly becoming like a pass around at school.
Yeah.
It's a huge debate. This.
Yeah, the Ollie fans, the Ollie Murs fans, Ollie Murs.
because at the end of the day, if a girl's going to do that, it's basically the equivalent of like a guy kind of slicking his hair back, putting on like a white t-shirt,
Yeah.
like a jacket over the top,
Yeah.
and not really buttoning it up, and yeah, being a real troublemaker.
Yeah. All right, we're wrapping it there.
Yeah,
We got to continue this conversation.
Yeah,
But
100%.
yeah, until next week.
Yeah,
Peace out
folks.
from the Saucy Boys.
Yeah, let's get away with murder. I'm gonna get away with murder. Ollie Murs.
Yo, yo.
Yo!